Okay.
Welcome back to the Sonic Locker Room. This is Bill Althouse of Sideliner Sports, and we're celebrating our 18th year bringing you the best and the brightest from Eastern Jackson County and the metro area. And when you talk about the best and the brightest at Lee Summit North High School, you're talking about Jonathan Krinke and his amazing choirs. 21st year teaching. Jonathan has been at Lee Summit North since 2012. And Jonathan, just a recent great overall performance from your choir. The large ensemble, all four choirs received #1 exemplary ratings. How special is it to see these youngsters who work so hard have that type of success?
I think that it's a great job to have. I'm a graduate from Lee Summit North, so I feel like I get to pour an awful lot into what gave me an awful lot of inspiration when I was a kid. But yeah, we programmed pretty hard music this year, and I feel like we've been racing since we got back from our winter break, right, guys? But they did pull it together, and they're excellent musicians and sight singers. That's one of those places where I really think that they shine, is when they walk into the room where they're supposed to perform a piece of music that they've never seen before. And they get 2 cracks at it, and they were pretty fantastic with that this year. Their performances were exceptional, and people can see those performances on YouTube. They have published the performances.
Oh, that's great. You know, you oftentimes hear about a performance but never get to see it. We'll be checking that out for sure. Jane Huff, Jake Johnson, and Ellie Reisinger, 3 seniors who have meant so much to the program over the past few years, are also going to be joining us. Jane, as a senior, does everything mean a bit more to you this year?
It definitely does. I've really taken time during large ensemble, especially as of late, to just take a step back and just really enjoy the process, because sometimes it can be stressful bouncing classes and other school activities, but it really is worth it just to be a part of these communities and to have all these really special experiences in choir that you can't really get in any other activity, at least in the North.
How long have you been involved with music?
I've been involved with music since elementary school. I've been in the Lee Summit North choirs all 4 years.
But I know that what you're going to focus on in college is more along the lines of acting, but you do want to keep involved with music. How are you going to try to accomplish that?
I'm not sure exactly what opportunities I'll be given to continue being in specifically choirs, but I play guitar. I still want to focus on vocal training and having voice lessons when I go off to college. So I'll definitely still be using a lot of the sight reading skills that I'm learning in choir. A lot of those same skills I'm still going to be able to apply to things that I'm doing next year.
Jonathan, what does Jane mean to your program?
Jane is about as even of a person that you can find. She's the same every single day. She, you couldn't tell if she was having a good day or a bad day because she's always so pleasant to be around. And she's also the president of our Lee Summit North Student Council. She's got her hand involved in an awful lot of different programs here, and in all areas, she's an incredibly reliable kiddo, and who really has a way of bringing people together and bringing out the best in them.
Jane, how do you manage all this? Especially something like being involved in the student government at Lee Summit North. That's something that basically you're involved with on a daily basis year-round.
Yeah, it just takes a lot of very clear communication. Tang and Krinke, our choir directors here, have been really flexible with schedules and just helping me be able to get to a lot of different places. A lot of our activities really overlap with our students. So there are so many students who are in student government and choir and theater and choir. So, I think it's worth it to be involved in as many things as possible in high school. So they've been really helpful with being able to accomplish all those things.
Jake Johnson, how long have you been involved in choir?
I've been involved in choir since I was in 4th grade. So probably 8 or 9 years now.
Yeah. Was it something that you enjoyed immediately?
Yes, I remember. I remember not being confident in my singing. I really liked learning music and hearing music be performed, but it took me probably until my junior year of high school to finally be comfortable with singing myself, like be comfortable and confident in my singing abilities.
Jonathan, how have you seen Jake grow over the past 4 years?
Jake has been a 2-year All-State choir member for us.
Ooh.
He's just really good at, I don't know how to say this. You're good at competition. You really thrive in when the heat is turned up. And he's also a pretty advanced forensics student. And he is just recently, this past weekend, become a district champ in what event, Jake?
Informative speaking.
Informative speaking. So it's a national qualifying event. And you'll be going to Richmond, Virginia for the National Debate and Forensics Tournament. And he brings that level of intensity to all of his programs, but he's also quite a joker, and sometimes we have to tell him to just calm down a little bit. Right, Jake? So much fun.
Jake, get a minor in music, but I'm fascinated in your major, criminal justice. Good for you. How'd you select those choices?
Yeah, so I'm an Eagle Scout. I've been a part of the Boy Scout program for probably 11 years now, and my family just loves the outdoors, and we have such a passion for camping and stuff, and so that's always been what's kind of kept me grounded throughout high school is my love for the outdoors. And I thought that there was no better way of protecting the outdoors than becoming a conservation agent, which are actively educating the public about the outdoors, about environmental policy, enforcing those regulations and laws. And so I feel like for my whole life, I've kind of been dead set on this career path because it's all I've wanted to do.
Jake, does everything mean a bit more to you this year, being a senior, knowing that all this great success you've enjoyed is coming to an end, but, you want to minor in music in college and pursue this great criminal justice degree. Does that make it a bit easier to say goodbye to the Bronco program?
Yes and no. It's hard to say goodbye because I can't tell myself, oh, there's next year, or I can't wait until, what we sing, next year in Crimson Camerado or in concert choir or anything like that. But what I can't tell myself is, well, next year I'm going to college. Next year, what am I going to sing in college? What classes am I going to take in college? What's the speech and debate tournaments like at the college level rather than the high school level? So there's pros and cons to both of it, for sure.
Ellie Reisinger. My goodness, Ellie, I've known you since you were a cute little kid running around the studio with your dad at Royals games and everything. You moved over to Lee Summit North as a junior last year. What's that move been like for you, and what has this program meant to you?
This program has definitely been the most beneficial in welcoming me into Lee Summit North over the past 2 years. I think it's really hard to transfer to a new school, especially once you're in upper classes if you've already made so many connections. But Mr. Crinky and Mr. Pang, our choir directors, were so welcoming and inviting me into the choir program. And since the choir program is so huge, it got me a lot of friends that were also in that class with me.
Ellie, how important is that? Because I've talked to so many kids in art, theater, speech and debate, choir, that said that the transition, whether they were a freshman or somebody that moved later on in their high school career, was like a second family, that it just made that move so much easier. How thankful are you for Mr. Krinky and everybody that you're involved with in choir?
Oh, I couldn't be more thankful. I really think that it takes a lot to welcome somebody into something that's already so established, and it just means a lot to me that it happened so quickly and warmly.
How long have you been singing, Ellie?
Oh, I've been singing since I could talk. But I've been taking voice lessons ever since middle school, and I've been involved in choir since elementary.
What do you enjoy about it? Do you enjoy that immediacy, that totally response that you get from a crowd when you're performing on a stage?
Well, that definitely helps, but I also really appreciate the expression of emotion that we get to have through this music, and especially with the music that we are given through choir. It's a lot of complicated pieces, but it's also very heartfelt, and the lyrics mean a lot as well as the composition.
Ellie, can you tell us a little bit about competition? Is it just the choir in a room with judges, or is there an audience?
For large ensemble, there's actually an audience that sits on the lower level of the auditorium, Lee Summit West, while the judges sit on the upper level and watch us. So they're completely separate, but it really just feels like an immersive performance for the audience because they're not surrounded by the judges, and it pretty much feels like it's just the audience and the choir.
With you, Ellie, does everything mean a bit more this year being a senior?
Oh, definitely. I have been involved in a ton more stuff this year than I was probably all of my other years in high school combined, just because I realized it is probably my last opportunity to do anything I want just at the drop of a hat.
Jonathan, what was it like for the program when Ellie climbed on board last year?
It was a nice addition. I mean, Tracy, her mom, who is a math teacher here at Ellison and an avid teacher, let us know a little bit early on that that Ellie was looking at coming to Lee Summit North, and asked if there was anything that we can do. And we were like, well, we got to, get her right into the concert choir. This is a kid who's doing this stuff over at Blue Springs South, who takes voice lessons. And it was just such an exciting addition because Ellie's a great singer. She's very bubbly, very silly, and she immediately got along with several of her other peers in her soprano section. I'd say they're a couple of your best friends, probably, Taylor and Rowan. And no, it was easy, like Ellie said. It was just, she's here, just like she's been here for 3 other years.
Yeah.
I wish we'd had you since your freshman year, and I'm sure that in some ways you wish that, or you wish you would stay at South. That makes it, like you said, hard, but we're grateful that she's a part of our Bronco family.
Jonathan Krinke, Jane Huff, Jake Johnson, and Ellie Reisinger, we can't thank you enough for joining us today. Continued success throughout the remainder of the year, and folks, you're always welcome here in the Sonic Locker Room.
Thank you. We appreciate it.